Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So I figured that for this video, for this week's story, I was going to do a face cam video because first of all, I don't know what gameplay to use to record for a gameplay, and also I figure I don't really show my face much, and I figured that like a lot has changed since y'all have last saw me. I don't remember how many months ago it was. It was a few months ago, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into the story. So this story all takes place back in 8th grade. Now, I was 14 at the time, and at this point, I hadn't had my first girlfriend yet, right? I had my first girlfriend when I was 14 years old, but I hadn't had a girlfriend at this point because it wasn't the time when I did. So I didn't know how to ask out a girl. I didn't know what it was like to have a girlfriend, but I did know how, or an idea of how to ask out a girl like for Valentine's Day, to ask them to be your Valentine. So there was this girl, right? And that I was friends with. I was good friends with her. Her name was Madison. Well, that's her name that we're going to use for the story. But her name was Madison, and I really liked her, right? This girl was super cute at the time. Like, I really liked her. And at first I just saw her as a friend, right? But then as time went on, I was like, dude, I want to ask out this girl, but I didn't know how to ask her out, right? But then Valentine's Day was coming up. This like 3 days before Valentine's Day, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask her to be my Valentine. And I thought that was a perfect idea. That was like perfect. Not knowing how fucking ugly I was in 8th grade. Let me tell you, if I can find a picture of how I looked in 8th grade, I'll pull it up like right here. But if I didn't, it's whatever. But I was not good looking in 8th grade. I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, anyway, back to the story. So I really liked this girl, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to ask her out on Valentine's Day. So what I had my mom do, I had her drive me out to some local store, and I bought this big box of chocolates. Right? It was like the heart shaped box of all the chocolate inside of it. And I was gonna give it to her on Valentine's Day, and I was gonna ask her to be my Valentine because I thought, that's fucking perfect, right? I didn't tell any of my friends, right? Because I was like, they're gonna fucking make fun of me. They're gonna be like, bro, you're not gonna do this. But I thought that, if I gave her a box of chocolate, right, and asked her to be my Valentine, this plan couldn't possibly fail. This was going to work perfectly. Oh boy, was I wrong. So, going on, right, we get to like the day before Valentine's Day, right, and I was super nervous. I was just talking to her more and more every day, getting to know things about her, because I figured that if I knew more about her, I'm not really sure what I was going to do with that information. But anyway, the final day comes, Valentine's Day. I wake up. I'm like, all right, this is the day. I'm gonna ask her out. This plan can't possibly fail. I'm gonna have a girlfriend for the first time. I was super nervous, but at the same time, I was super excited, right? So anyway, going on. I go to school, right? All the couples are, being lovey-dovey, being all over each other, kissing, and I was like, that'll be me at one point. Oh, jeez. Anyway, Madison was in my first and last period of the day, right? So I would talk to her in my first period, and then we would go through the other periods. That didn't really matter. And then the last period came along, right? And this was the class I had her with. And at this point, I had the box of chocolates in my in my backpack, and I was like, all right, at the end of class, I'm gonna pull her aside, and I'm gonna ask her to be my girlfriend, right? Or ask her to be my Valentine / girlfriend. Basically, same thing. So we get through that class. I didn't really pay attention. I was just super nervous about asking her out. So anyway, going on, right? We get to the end of class. We're all walking out. We get dismissed. We're all walking out, and I'm talking to Madison. I'm like, hey Madison, can I talk to you over here for a second? And she's like, yeah, sure, Jacob. What's up? So we get over there, right? Now I have the box of chocolates behind my back, right? I have one hand behind my back, and I'm talking to her like this, and I'm like, look, for a while now, I really liked you, and I see you as more than just a friend. And I pulled the box of chocolates out from behind my back, and I hold up to her, and I'm like, will you be my Valentine? And this is where it just goes downhill. She looks at me, looks at the box of chocolates, looks back up at me, and proceeds to just start laughing at me. She just starts laughing at me, like hysterically laughing. And this is in like front of people, right? People saw this, and she just laughed in front of me. and just said, and she was like, Jacob, I don't see you as that. I just see you as just a friend, and that's it. And then she walks away, and I stand there with a box of chocolates, and I'm just like, oh. And people started laughing too. People were laughing at me. So at this point, I walk away. I just go out. My mom picks me up, and I'm just sitting there, just in the car, in the passenger seat, just eating the chocolates, because I'm like, you know what, may as well eat them. You know, I paid for them. Why not? And throughout that rest of the time, that was just so bad. Like, I went home. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was super depressed and just super embarrassed. Like, I can't tell you the sheer amount of embarrassment that was. I thought this plan was foolproof. I was shocked because I was like, dude, how did this plan possibly fail? This couldn't have possibly gone any worse. And at this point, I was just super depressed, just sitting in my room. And then I get a text from her on Instagram. And she's like, hey, Jacob. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, hey, sorry for laughing at you. You know, I'm sorry if I embarrassed you in front of everybody. I just don't see you as that. I just see you as just a friend, and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Again, like, I'm sorry for doing that. And she's like, no, it's all cool. It was sweet. And she's like, do you still have the box of chocolates? And I'm like, no, I ate them all. And she's like, oh, okay. I was gonna give it to her anyway, though. Like, she fucking laughed in my face. Like, what the hell? And from that point forward, we just stayed friends. You know, nothing was really awkward. It was still a bit awkward because she still knew that I liked her like that. But at that point, I just completely just lost feelings for her and just saw her as a friend. But then we just stopped talking after 8th grade because she went to another school, and I went to a different school, so we kind of stopped talking. And yeah, that's basically the end. That's why Valentine's Day is just not a day for me. But yeah, that's essentially the end of the story. Once again, I am single, don't have a girlfriend. Life just, I don't know. Life just hasn't been going my way for a little bit, but I'm sure it'll get better. Just got to keep my head up. But yeah, that's essentially the end of the story. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. I will see you all later. Why you leaving me on red? May as well leave me dead. I don't want to get out of bed. I never wanted you for sex. I just wanted what was best.